What happens when Homer becomes an actor in the freak show? Homer comes to see the freak show. Here, he bought a hat and put it on. He is identified by the rest of the audience as a narc. Then he gets passed around and thrown out. Homer gets mad and kicks the cannon. The consequence is that the cannon reacts. The bullet hit Homer in the stomach, then turns into a pig-shaped balloon and flies away. His specialty was discovered. Homer became a performer on the freak show. He put on his goggles and received the impact of the iron ball and fell to the ground. Homer was encouraged by the audience. He even has fans. Homer's fame brought cooperation. He traveled to other venues and performed the iron ball to the stomach, and a group of supporters took him to play. Homer is very happy. After a performance, Homer drinks beer and has a belly reaction. He went to the vet for an examination, but he didn't listen to the doctor, and was very proud of himself. Homer eats the pie and his belly reacts again, but he made it to the stage. Homer began to feel fear. Looking at his child, he summoned his courage. He was right in front of the cannon, and the crowd was there to see it. The iron ball came at him and he dodged it. He jumped off the stage and hugged his family. Finally, he took them and left. Do you know how doctors cured Flanders' violent tendencies? When he arrived at the asylum, Flanders was dragged into the ward. Here he would turn over books with his feet. When the nurse saw him, she immediately called Dr. Forster. The doctor arrived at the hospital and draped a blanket over Flanders.
I was a good little boy. Were you?
It turned out that as a child, Flanders had violent tendencies. He was constantly grabbing and hitting other children. He would smash picture frames. He would throw books out of the bookcase. The doctors treated him by spanking his buttocks. Flanders lost the ability to express his anger. To provoke Flanders, the doctor found Homer. The doctor teaches Homer to be a super annoying person. Apparently, Homer had the gift himself.
Can you be that annoying? Get in the booth.
Homer followed the doctor's questions to anger Flanders, but Flanders just smiled at him, every time. Under Homer's provocation, Flanders finally told him what he hated.
It means he's cured.
Flanders was released from the hospital. The town of Springfield came to congratulate him. It all started when Springfield was hit by a hurricane. After the hurricane, Flanders' house was in ruins. The people of Springfield built him a new house, but Homer knocked it down with a single tap. Flanders yelled at him. He drove to the mental hospital. What happens to the person he loves when Homer suffers a curse? Marge grows a blue beard. When Homer chokes Bart, Bart's neck will grow long and thin. His neck goes limp in his chair. Homer will try to fix the neck, but it won't help. Lisa will turn into a horse orc. Maggie will turn into a ladybug. When Homer came to the tavern, Moe told him to catch the dwarf demon, and the curse would be lifted. Suddenly, a plane falls from the sky and hits Carl and Lenny. Anne Malloy was put in a jar of Brinny eggs. Homer took Bart to the woods and dug a hole. He poured breakfast cereal into the hole to attract rabbits. The next day, Bart caught the dwarf demon in the pit. Homer carried Dwarf and kept poking him in the stomach. At breakfast, the dwarf demon steps on Marge's breakfast. When Bart's head fell into the oatmeal, and the dwarf demon danced on Bart's head, Homer carried the dwarf demon to the soothsayer. The dwarf demon and the soothsayer were married. Marge and Homer, who had turned blue, attended the wedding. It started when Homer scratched the warts on the soothsayer's nose. It caused him to get warts on his hands. The soothsayer got mad and told him to get out, but Homer got caught in the curtain and hit the candelabra. The candles lit him up. The water from the fire hose extinguished the fire. And for that, the soothsayer cursed Homer to bring bad luck to everyone he loved.